FlossTube. This is Barb with Lost and Floss. This is a channel primarily about cross stitch, but I've got a few new hobbies, so I'll probably throw in things here and there. And I can't usually get out of a video without going off a little bit on a tangent. So, yeah, it's August 17th, and this is video number 63. So, lots to show you today. And first off, many new subscribers, so I want to say hi. Hi. And thanks for coming back. For the people who have been with me and the channel since the beginning, thank you, and I so appreciate you coming back video after video and seeing what I've been up to. So there was a milestone hit for the channel between the last two videos, and it was the 3-year anniversary. And as many of you know, rather bittersweet, since this started out as a joint venture. Two lifelong friends with the same passions just got together and thought, oh, this would be fun. And in hindsight, it gave me so many wonderful memories that I wouldn't have had without it. In case you're new to the channel, my lifelong friend Leanne passed away January of 2020. So really the time has been split between videos done with Leanne and videos on my own. But I know our last conversation we talked about, you know, she's like, who are you going to carry on with? And suggested my daughter. And so one of these days I'm going to get her to appear with me. And also there's several stitchers in my local community who I'd love to have on, so you'd be able to meet them and see their wonderful creations. So we'll do that too. The biggest news is I am retired. Woo! And let's see, 2 weeks in, well, 2 weeks and a couple days. It's so odd to retire during a pandemic. Well, and the other thing was I worked from home since March of 2020. So that right off the bat, you know, you're not going into the office. And also, even prior to that, I worked virtually with people from New York as well as Milwaukee people. And so, you know, was really set up to work from home very easily. But then because I was retiring, I had 8 weeks of vacation to use this year. And so I really feel like I've tried out retirement already and I'm good at it. But I think we'll do more chit chat at the end. So let's get into whips, shall we? So I finally have gotten little starts, which for me is half the battle, on a few things I've been wanting to stitch for quite a while. This one is Peach Rose by Blackbird Design. And this was gifted to me by my local stitcher friend, Lisa. She just had hers made into a beautiful little pillow. And let's see. This is my, I'll share my handy little trick for when I just get little starts on things, so I don't get confused with which way the chart goes or the stitching goes. I always try to place my needle at the very top of my fabric. So that way, if I pull it out after 2 months, I look at it and I'm like, oh, even though I don't have to figure out on the chart where I am, I know this is the way that it should go. So that's a handy little trick. You probably all do that already, but I always like to share things that work for me, because I have been just amazed at the things I've learned from other stitchers. So let's see, I don't know where that one was. I finally pulled out Plum Street Samplers Home for Christmas. And it was funny because on Instagram, Crisscross Stitches, who was one of our local stitchers and just moved back to her home state, she just finished hers. And it looked so beautiful. I'm like, I have to get back to mine. I'm using pretty much the called for colors except for the white. I wanted the white to pop more. And I think I'm stitching 2/2 instead of 1/2. But really, I should get this done for Christmas. There's no reason not to. I'm debating with whether I want to put the words on or not. I don't know. I guess I'll save that for last and make that decision when the time comes. So I'm hosting a SAL, which I will put the hashtag right up here. I really should. It'd be so much easier to do what Laura on Brenda and the cereal starter does. She has a piece of paper and she just holds it up instead of inserting. But anyways, I'll do the little bit of extra work instead. And the SAL is, you already saw it, so I always get confused. I always have to look it up. But it's the 2021 Santa. And he's got all his little animal friends with him. An owl and a fox, raccoon. I'm stitching mine 1/1 on 25 count vintage country mocha. And I haven't finished off mine from last year yet. I thought I'd wait until I had a couple. But as I've mentioned before, these guys are tiny. They're much, a much smaller size than the ones that are stitched on 18 count, which I think is the called for color. But I've got the wolf feet in there. And well, I think one of his paws must be behind Santa. Either that or he's had a birth defect or is an amputee. Possible. But yeah, this is really cute. I'm deciding what I want to do. The called for pom-pom is green, but I was thinking about maybe doing a white Smyrna stitch, or I have some of that floss that gets texture to it, so I might make a pom-pom out of that. But I think what I have is much more creamy. So who knows? But I am confident I will get this done before Christmas, and that's really my main goal. When I went on my shopping trip, I bought this kit, Bouquet 1813, Samplers Not Forgotten. This is one of those that like you see something and you know you're gonna stitch it right away. And this is one of them. I just think it's beautiful. I'm really not sure, since it was a kit, what the called for color is. And I only have a tiny, tiny little start. But this is all I need to get moving on it. There's my needle up on top, so I know this is the right side. And I also decided, since the colors came with the chart, that I would run off a copy of the key and just hole punch it. You know, it's not as pretty as what a lot of you people do, but it just keeps them straight and it'll be easy for me to follow along. But when I look at this chart, it really is pretty much in blocks color. So I was kind of intimidated in the beginning, but I really don't think it's going to be awful to do. So I'm kind of thrilled about that. Okay. I have something to go along with this, so I think I'll wait on that. Chessie and Me, Wisconsin's River Sampler. As much as I love this one, this has been the hardest one for me to stitch. There's a lot of specialty stitches and 1/1 stitching and all that jazz. So I keep trying to at least pull it out here and there. For a while I was stitching 1 thread a night. I should probably get back to that, but I did finish up the deer since last time, and I don't know if I had the flagpole in. Some of that stuff's 1/1. So you'd think I would just be able to get it done, but there's still enough. There's little animals and the alphabet and all that stuff. So hopefully this year. This was one of my, I've got a couple stragglers to stitch my Stitch 10 in 20 challenge. I knew better than to pull out anything for 2021 because I didn't finish the ones from the previous year. So that's what I've really been hoping. I got one done, and there's 3 left, one of which Wisconsin Cabin, and then the second one is the Scarlet House American Farmhouse. And since I last showed this, I've kind of worked backwards, but I'm putting the barn roof up before I put the barn on. I thought it would maybe go quicker, and it was easy to count from the last quilt, which I finished up since I last showed this. So I'm moving along on this. It's not, you know, it's not, you know, when I first started stitching it, it was more, had to concentrate more on it, but you know, it is kind of amazing how you make progress with this stuff as you stitch more. It seems to get easier and easier. And another thing I have is Winter Rose Manor. I kept looking for my, I guess it goes this way. This is my working copy, and I forgot I gave the cover sheet back to Lisa, who borrowed me the chart before it was released. But I've got all the snow done, other than the snowflakes, but across the bottom all that snow is done. And the basket I have finished. I started, well, I don't have it finished. What am I saying? I have the outline finished, but I have to fill it in. I'm always glad though when the outline matches up, especially with the scrolly stuff at the top. But I love that basket. And I started filling in some of my berries. So making progress. And really, I mean, I've got a couple trees to do. Well, I have enough to do, but I already have the house and the fence and the birds done, some of the border. This was the piece I started on Leanne's birthday as kind of a tribute memorial to her. And her birthday's in a week, so ideally I would have liked to have this finished up, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But as she used to say to me, you do you. And so rules are made to be broken, and you know, I'm not getting a rating on whether I finish this or not, but I will be starting a second tribute piece to her on that day, and it's one that I wanted to start in honor of Brenda, but I just never got to it. And it's All Joys for Thine. By Blackbird Design. And I'm going to stitch it with everything called for. I just think it's a beautiful, beautiful piece, and I can't wait to stitch it. So this is going to be my second tribute piece. I think my plan right now is to maybe start one every year on Leanne's birthday as just my way of showing honor and tribute to our friendship. And, you know, thinking about the legacy, Leanne's legacy she left behind. Yeah, so much talent and gone way too soon. Well, anyways, I can't get that back in. And one of her pretty bags, so it's very fitting that it will be in that. So I will be working on that starting next week. People say, how do you keep your whip straight? And it's like, well, I don't know. I just, you know, I'm used to stitching more than one thing. When I first got back to cross stitch, I only stitched on stockings, and then I'm like, I gotta stitch on some smaller things to mix it up. And yeah, then you open up that can of worms and realize you can stitch on as many things as you want. So I try to, I don't know. You know, I know I don't have nearly as many as some people. I would estimate maybe 20. I'm going to tag on at the end. I put away a couple summer seasonal pieces, and I have a shelf on my bookcase up in my sewing room, and I kind of put them in like season order so that the summer patriotic ones that I didn't finish, I put at the end. And so then that way I can just look on the left side and it's like, oh, you know, what's here? I can move on to something else. So, well, stop the floss. This pile. These were two men's sucoats. I was at Goodwill and they had like the green tags were 50% off, and I'm like, I was looking through and I'm like, well, you know, I could buy a suit coat and cut it up, which, I mean, after I started doing that, I thought that's really a shame because there's like so much work that goes into it. But when I think of, you know, I paid a couple dollars because they were 50% off, and how much wool I got out of it. But washed it in my wash machine and then dried it in my dryer. So I have, and like a lot of loose ends, I don't know. Maybe it's not worth the work of doing it, but I'm like, I'll try it one time and see. But I got this houndstooth check, which I thought would be great for like fall Halloween type stuff. And then just this, I don't know, it's like a, I don't know what this is called. It just has a little bit, it got much more, it's dark. I think it got darker since I washed it. And you know, what I didn't think about, like years and years ago, I took a tailoring class and that was before fusible. So like, you know, I was thinking I could just rip these apart, but there are things that I could not get off the back, and I wasn't sure how they would shrink in comparison, but now I almost wonder if this backing was wool too, because it's really smooth and it seems to stay right where the wool is. So anyways, so I guess I can fold this up and you know, I need to get back into the projects that Lisa, another Wisconsin stitcher, so graciously sent to me a while back, and I know there's some cute things in there. While I was at Goodwill, last video I mentioned that I want to get into quilting, and so I always look through. I've took some of your suggestions. I think there was maybe 5 or 6 different video sources that you guys encouraged me to watch, and so I took your suggestion. I started watching, and I've learned so much already that yeah, just, you know, about cutting and the right way to sew and pressing and like a bunch of things I was doing wrong. So yeah, I can't wait to get started. But I found this cross stitch magazine, and I thought these two little, they use them as toppers, but I thought they'd make really cute little pillows for both Valentine's Day and Christmas. Or even if you did them 1/1 on tiny count, they'd be cute little ornaments. So that book came home with me, as well as there's a bunch of, you know, I just want to make a simple quilt for our cabin. So, and these are, they were 99 cents. And this Quilt in a Day, oh man, I don't know if it was this book. I don't think it was. I think it might, maybe it was this one. But years ago, Leanne and I and one other friend decided we wanted to make quilts. And so at the time, she had 2 little ones. I think I had my 2 kids. And so there were 4 little ones running around in her basement while our friend was a teacher. So I think it was during summer when she was off. And we had these kids and these quilts that we were trying to make. And we all made them, and I think mine was on our daughter's bed for quite a while, and I don't know, I probably shot that away. I didn't hand quilt it. I think I just tied it in spots with some ribbon, but I had applique hearts on it. It was cute. But and then I got in love with quilts. This was border designs. Like some of them I would never use. Like I don't think I'd be doing geese anymore. But you never know. They could make a comeback. But I thought, you know, this might be a good option if you have a frame and just want to add like a little something onto a piece in order to have it fill out the frame. So I'm like, this is another 99-cent one. And it was from Lee Ward. Are those around anymore? I don't know. And then this is Leisure Arts Quick Method Quilting. And this is Quilter's Almanac, although I don't like what year is it from. I don't even know. But what I thought was nice about this is it shows you some of the basic blocks. And so, and just even, you know, it's of the era where they are using rotary cutters. So I figure I can page through and maybe get some ideas from here. I will have to invest in a new cutting mat. I made the mistake, and I don't know why, it's so stupid, but you know, I need to get a good craft table for my sewing room. And right now a lot of times I'm working on my ironing board, and I had some long strips I was cutting for finishing, and so I wanted to like be able to go the full length. So I put my mat on the floor, and I was like pressing down, and all of a sudden my rotary cutter went through the mat, and all I could think of was, okay, now I've made these long cuts in the carpet. But thank goodness that was not the case. So I've still yet to invest in a new one, but it's on my list of things to look for one of these days. And then I found these favorite applique patterns from the Old Country Store. One's more of a holiday book, and I do want to start watching the videos from Lori Textilist, and I forget who she's doing them with. But I thought this might, because I don't really have any charts to use, but I thought this might be a good way to take part of it and just try out making a pillow or something with some of these charts. So, so I got those, and then this one is same sort of thing, and I think it's from the holidays. So there were, I don't know, there was something I liked in here. Now that I'm looking at them, I'm like, oh. But again, wasn't going to break the bank. I think these were $3. And then the other thing, this I thought was cute. A little, like if you use pinks and reds for Valentine's Day. And I thought this looked within my skill set. So I'm going to try that. And then this I couldn't leave behind. Look how cute that is. And this is the best part. There's a jingle bell in there. I'm like, oh, I can see my grandkids. So I thought that was kind of fun. I have a red cast iron heart gifted me from Rebecca. And I love having that. I have it out year round, and I always am tucking it into a little, I think it's in my 4th of July stuff, which I'm going to put away today. But yeah, it's kind of fun. And so who wouldn't want a bell inside a heart? And then, as some of you may remember, I had an incident with my Pyrex that I had bought for dyeing, and so I found a replacement one for $2.99, and I'm not going to put it on the stool to the best breakfast bar this time, because obviously that was a mistake. And I got a few other things. So this I thought would be perfect. Let's see, it probably goes this way. For $2. Can't you see like a pin cushion on top of there? This is kind of, reminds me a lot of the one I did for 4th of July, the Blackbird design one. And so I don't know, maybe for fall I'll just leave it, but got a nice flat top. Smells like wax. Somebody must have had a scented I guess that would be this side. Must have had a scented candle on here. But it's kind of, you know, it has little chips, but I think that just adds to the fun, rustic nature. And hopefully one of these days we'll get back to like big party entertaining again. And I've mentioned before I have a large family, so there's, I don't know, I've lost count, honestly, because now like the grandkids have kids, and not my grandkids, but like, well, nieces and nephews have kids. So so there's quite a few people. I was one of 6, and everyone's married. Some of us had kids, and then now the kids have kids. Not all of them, but anyways, so entertaining. I found these little spreaders, which is just always fun to have, the seasonal ones. There's this little pink pilgrim girl, and I think I might have this bunny one, but bunny for spring. And oh, here's a turkey. What else? I don't know what these, oh, are these? They're either raspberries, I think. And I thought there was one more. No, I guess that's it. So, you know, for a couple bucks, it's kind of fun. I sworn there were 6 of them. And then I found this little box, which I'm not sure what I'll do with, but I don't know. I think maybe, oh, they got tape on it now to hold the lids down. Oh, surprise! I love it when I have unpacked stuff inside and I don't remember what it is. Oh, just a little glass red ornament. Never have too many ornaments. But I was thinking this might be kind of a nice thing. I can't get the tape off right now. Again, like this recessed shape on it on 2 sides. It's similar to the lamp that I haven't done anything with yet. But I think, you know, it'd be really pretty to stitch something and put it on there. And the top, I think somebody must have made this because it looks kind of handmade. But the top has a, you know, a interesting shape, knob. It's not just your round. It's kind of, I gotta get this tape off. And an extra little layer here, and you know, you can see I don't know woodworking terms at all. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to keep, I don't know, finishing supplies, or I don't know if scissors will fit in there. I don't know. I'll find stuff to put in there. That's for sure. And then, oh, I didn't notice that this had this big red blob on it, but I'll probably paint it anyways. But I thought this would be good just to throw maybe charts in that I want to do, or I'm not sure that project bags would fit, but maybe. So it was a good Goodwill haul. It's always fun. And I have no other stitchy hauls, so I feel like that's, you know, that's enough. While we're kind of stopping the floss, this is my quilted thing, and don't look at the star points because I already pointed out my mistake, but I think it'll be cute to have for next year. I did the double fold binding, and this is kind of funny. And I've already learned so much since I did this, but this print was, I think in like, I don't know, second grade maybe, I made my daughter a denim coat, and I had it lined with this print, and then I appliqued strawberries on the front and had little strawberry buttons. I don't know if I can find a picture or not. It was darn cute, but you know, I had bought so much of the fabric just because I thought, well, maybe I'd make her a matching shirt or whatever. Well, I don't think I ever did. But it's just like, it has some nice bright colors, and it's a tiny, tiny print, which it's kind of hard to find that kind of stuff always. At least in my mind, I'll have a print and a scale that I'm thinking of, and then I go to look for it and it's like, doesn't exist. All right, well, now comes the fun part. We have some, fell off my table here. I don't think anything important. Ooh, sorry. Oh, I might be crooked now, but that's how it goes. I want to get back to this. This is just, and I still don't know how it's going to be, but I kind of free-formed, and I need to get rid of, like, this color's way too dark, but kind of did some painting and then some stitching and outlining, and I have a wooden pumpkin I'm going to put that on. So I'd like to finish that up and have that out for fall this year. It's one of those things that it's not really turning out like how I envisioned it in my mind, but you know, like sometimes it's good enough, right? So I can tell you on that little wooden basket, Project Vegas will not fit. So I have some FOs. Seriously, this series have to stop. I don't know. When I first got back into cross stitch, I've said this many times, but I was so gung-ho for those series, and now I still feel like I need to finish them. And I know some people are, you know, why would you stitch things that aren't on the top of your list? But it's not that I can't stand them. I just feel like I'm stitching the same thing over and over and over. So I guess from that standpoint, I probably will not start any new series until I'm done with the old ones, and I just need to make some progress on them. Anyways, I finished up Prairie Schooler August, and I did this on a 32 count, like ivory colored Lugana with all the called for colors. A couple little errors in my chart, but I'm not gonna point them out. I feel like it looks fine. So I have a little wooden wall basket thingy that I'm finishing these to go on. So this is the fourth one complete. I have a streak going of June, July, and August, and then I have December done. And I have a good start on January and March and May. So it's kind of been my plan to always have one that I'm working on, and I have the charts for all except I don't think I have September and October, and you know, I won't stress about looking for those until I get the other ones done. So these I like. These I think really are timeless, and you know, they're cute, and I like the ability to switch things out, and can't wait to finish up the rest of them. So that's one of my done things. And then this is kind of halfway done. But this is drawn thread, Welcome Christmas. It's kind of hard. And I changed a lot of the colors, and I didn't use the beads. So I think, I can't remember, oh, like his string of lights, I kind of improvised. And I like how they turned out a lot. I'd do that again. I don't know if you can see. I think I did over one stitching, and I did from center to center, and then I went out one and went from that out one to the center, and then did the same thing on both sides. So it kind of gives them a little triangle shape. But I love how this looks. And this was one of those that I was stitching on and thinking, why the heck am I doing this? Because it wasn't like speaking to me. But I'm kind of halfway through my finish. I'm going to, well, you can't really tell, but I'm going to put it in this box with some other fabric, and I think it'll be really cute. So stay tuned for that one to be done next video. I just kind of ran out of time. And then this is another one. Sorry for laying down on my couch. I just got this frame at Goodwill, and I think this is gonna work good for this. So hopefully by the next time I record, this will be done too. But I don't know if this is gonna show up. This guy, it kind of really is old world, and I might push him up and like put some things on the bottom if I can find the right things. So, but I think, you know, the ropiness and the color of the frame is really good with his antique-y looking stuff. So, hoping to get him finished for next year. And then, oh, so I showed this last video. This is drawn thread. Can't think of what the name of the chart is. Anybody? Is it something candy cane or whatever? I don't know, I probably have this crooked. But I just did it as a little wall hanging. And this was before I watched the quilting videos, so I think I maybe could do a little better now, but it's just simple and it'll be cute. I can hang it from the star, and I've got a couple spots between like doors where you maybe have this much space, and so it's always nice to have something narrow like this that you can plop in there. This was a piece stitched by Leanne. She stitched it for her brother and his wife when they bought a new home, and I thought she had it finished and gave it to them, but she had not. So I wanted to be able to frame it at least so I can give it to them, and then if they want to pick out a better frame for it, they can pick it out. And I just had enough. I did have to use a little bit of glue, but it's such a classic chart, and I just think it'll be a wonderful piece for them to have in their home. So that's one more. I think how many times we talked about the fact we both like to stitch better than FFOing, and I just think she's off somewhere just kind of getting the last laugh about the fact that I am finishing up all the various pieces. Okay, so many of you know the toilet paper cabinet, but I did not know it was a toilet paper cabinet. But here is Summer ABCs by Little House Needleworks. And I changed, hopefully the color's coming through that. I think that's better there. I changed the word to say America. And I put stars there. I changed a lot of the colors. Ice cream's the same. I don't know that I changed any of the other words, but I just wanted it bright and kind of patriotic-y looking. And I just used a little pin dot, red rickrack, and then for the topper, kind of hard to see, but I have this dark navy and white stripe ribbon and some poppies, and if I find them, I wanted to add maybe some stars too, but you know, that's one of those things when I see it in the store, I will grab it. And then I finally got this one done. This is Teresa Kogut, Season's Greetings. I saw this done up at Country Sampler the first time I was there in Spring Green, Wisconsin, and just love this little guy. But boy, he was a beast. It had all these 1/4 and 3/4 and half stitches. I'm curious because I've yet to start another chart, although well, no, that's not true. I started another one and it had the same kind of stitches, but I wonder if now that she's learned more about cross stitching, if she's sticking to full stitches. I did try stretching this on foam core to start, and with the lines I wasn't having good luck, so I'm like, I'm just gonna lace this one, and then I really want to learn the pinning technique on foam core, so I'm gonna try it with something that doesn't have like the straight lines going across. But I just think, you know, the simple black frame is great, and I think he's cute. I mean, who's not to like a snowman in a top hat? So I'm going to be thrilled to have that done and out this year. All right. And then, so, just thought I would talk. Let's see, I showed all this stuff. I don't forget anything. Oh. I wanted to talk a little bit about, well, I don't think I showed this one. Leanne had started these. We saw them, they're kind of on like cardboard flip things that are on a ring, so you can have them all out at once and just flip from one to the next. And we both bought the stuff for it. She had stitched some of them, but I'm gonna stitch the rest. And then, well, I'll talk more about that at the end. So the other thing I want to get back to, because now I'm not mad at it anymore. Yes, Virginia. This is really, this is how I had to figure out how to put the two parts of the page together and find the center point. There was like differences in the printing size. It was tricky. But anyways, and I know other people have said that too. This guy is, he's a big rumpled mess is what he is, but he's almost done, but I'm off somewhere and I was just gonna make it work. I still might, but I might have to rip out some of it. So enough time has gone by. I was really trying to get them done for last Christmas, but that didn't happen because I got mad at them and put them away because I thought, you know, there's no reason I have to stitch on this when I'm just angry about it. So I put them away and now I'm ready to look at them again. So I'll probably have some progress on him the next time that we visit. Oh, these are the ones that Leanne stitched. She stitched autumn. And summer. So I think it'll be kind of fun to do the other two and know that I stitched some and she stitched some. And then the other thing I've got all ready to go is this Carriage or Christmas sampler, Carriage House samplings. I thought I was gonna stitch this last year, and really I think it's gonna go pretty quick. Although this is dark fabric, so maybe not so much. I think this is Shadow R&R, and it's 36 count. But I think the greens and the golds will really pop on there. I think it's showing a lot later than it is. So I'm gonna start that one of these nights so I can have that done for Christmas. Oh, and then this is another series thing. So I stitched this Little House Needleworks band sampler. I stitched the winter one and I really liked it. I mean, this is when I discovered vintage metal rue, which then became my favorite color, and then I can't find it. So I thought it was cute. I left enough margin on the top and bottom because I had a nice black frame that fit, you know, pretty well. Well, not to mention who it was, but it got knocked off the wall, and it wasn't me. Then in the meantime, I saw, and I wish I knew who did this or what it was related to, but I don't even know if it was this chart, but they did all four and had it like a four-sided thing. And so I got the other 3 season charts. So autumn, spring, and summer. And you know, looking at the charts, I loved winter when I saw it in chart form, but these just don't float my boat as much. But then I saw people who had stitched these, and they're really nice stitched up. And so I'm like, even though I wouldn't start a series at this point, I think these go really pretty fast. I mean, because there's not a whole lot to them, and you know, pretty easy counting. So I remember this one, you know, I stitched a couple years ago. So I think I am going to stitch them and then try to make my version of that type of finish. I thought that would be kind of fun. And then I hauled this one out. This is Blackbird Designs. And I think, what is this one? Oh, Blackbird Pincushion. I thought it was called something else. Well. And this one's Leanne's. And she got pretty far on it, so I think she's using Belle Soie, Old Crow. So I'm gonna finish that up. There's not, I mean, she's well over halfway done. She's got a crow and a couple other branches. And then I think I'll make it into a little pillow. So I do like that. I think it'll be cute just to have out and about. So, and that'll be another item off my list. So, all right, so we've had that, all that stuff. That was a lot, wasn't it? I feel like since retiring, I haven't I probably stitch maybe a little bit less because now I know I have more time, and I just, it's kind of fun to do some other things and not think, oh, I could be stitching. So like the one day it was really nice out, and so I just took my lawn chair and went out in the middle of the yard, patch of shade, and grabbed my husband's iPad and played solitaire for like half an hour. And I'm like, that usually is not, me, but it was like such a nice day, and like I have the time, so why not? So, what else has happened? So, yeah, the Bucks won the championship. So that was really exciting for Milwaukee, and we were just so happy that they were able to pull it off. I think I had mentioned previously that I was like growing up with my dad. I guess it's not hard to believe because he was such a sports fan. But I loved like basketball and football. Well, I like baseball too. But when the Bucks, I was like in grade school, like 50 years ago when the Bucks won their championship. So the fact it was like 50 years later was kind of fun, and I liked having that excitement, like for my son to see a basketball championship, because he had never experienced that. So that was pretty cool. And let's see what else has been going on. Some of my coworkers had a little outside, very, very low-key retirement gathering for me at a beer garden in the area. And, just not a ton of people, maybe 20, but, like I was kidding them. I'm like, everyone I like. No, had things been different, it would have been great to have a big celebration, but I just, with COVID numbers upticking, it just doesn't seem like something that you have to do. So that was the extent of my celebration. And let's see. Oh, and my sister and brother-in-law took us out to dinner, so that was really nice. We had a famous Wisconsin fish fry out on a nice patio at a local restaurant, so that was fun. And then another one of my friends, hi Jenny, took me out for dinner. Another outside patio restaurant. So that was fun. I hadn't seen her. Well, she came to the retirement gathering, but she and another woman were always my Tuesday, standing Tuesday lunch date. And so, you know, when I was, even before the pandemic, when I'd work from home a couple days a week, but it would never be on a Tuesday because I had lunch with Jenny. So that was great to spend some time with her, and you know, there's always lots of laughs. Fun person, and just very kind. So it was fun to really catch up and have time to devote to conversations. And then I think, so that actually happened after, when I was already off. But on my very last day, I did go into the office so that I could leave my laptop, and a friend of mine came in, and we did the lunch inside the cafeteria again. It wasn't nearly as good as the first time. So, but it was so nice to, you know, spend some time with her. And then I went upstairs, and there wasn't really hardly anybody on the floor, but I just kind of went around, and, you know, it was Friday afternoon. It's like, when you can work from home, who's going to be there, right? But I took some pictures, and I wrote little notes on some people's dry erase boards, and then I had always said that I was gonna, on my last day, I was going to skip out, and my younger coworker, Monica, she had since left to take a different job, but, you know, she was kidding me because I took a picture of her QB. She sat across the aisle from me, and she was kidding me. You know, I said, well, you know, I want to skip out of here, but the cleaning lady is there, and there's some woman down the aisle, and she's like, just do it and record yourself. And I'm like, well, why not? So, like, but the problem was I had sandals on that were flipping, and then the stuff I had left to take home was heavier than I had anticipated, and I had my purse, and like, I'm trying to skip, and I, you know, was filming myself doing it, and so I thought I had it, and then I took some pictures of just my feet walking out, because I'm like, you know, why not? And but then when I looked later, I must not have pressed the record button. I'm like, oh, darn it all. So I was telling my daughter the story. I'm like, yeah, even skipping down the aisle, I'm like, well, no one saw me at least. And she's like, only security. And I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. So, yeah, well, they're probably used to seeing me do funny things. So we had that, and we had bad storms. One was like tornado touching down like somewhere close by, not right in our area, but really close by. And, you know, like, I even got a text from my friend in the middle of the night, you know, like, everything okay? But then we had another storm, and I have not seen a storm move in so fast as that one. I mean, you could just see the clouds were going like 60, 70 miles an hour. It was just unbelievable. And not that much rain, and it didn't last like that long. Our power flickered a little bit, but didn't go out. But then I was looking outside the window, and all of a sudden I looked by our shed, and we lost a big tree. So that was pretty sad. And another limb fell and hit the gutter in the front and dented that. But, you know, when I think of then, you know, other people were without power for days, like a couple days. I think it was one of the largest power outages in Wisconsin history. So, you know, as sad as I am to see the tree go, because it provided like a lot of, it was probably what was shading me the day I was wasting time out in the yard. But, you know, when you think of the damage other people have sustained, or even, you know, cleaning out a fridge or freezer with, you know, food that's spoiled, that's not good either, especially, you know, for people who can't afford to replace that food. So another fun thing we did at the end of July is my husband's birthday, and we were up at the cabin. That was prior to retirement, and I was on vacation. So on his birthday, we went to visit our son in Minneapolis, and that was a really fun day. I didn't get to go to Stitchville, but it was a great family day. We had lunch. Our son, I'll include pictures at the end. He's like the master griller. He just, you know, unbelievable what he cooks. So we had lunch at his place, and then we went to an Asian grocery and a fish store. And I'm like, oh, not Stitchville? No. But I had bought all that stuff at Lynn's, so I was okay. And plus it was my husband's birthday. So we went like on a hike. We went to a park and had a beverage outside. And then we walked across the arch bridge or whatever that is, and just, you know, around a couple neighborhoods, and then walked back across the bridge and found a really good Mexican restaurant and ate outside on the patio. And just, it was a really fun day, and just drove back to the cabin and got home just as it was getting dark. So it was perfect. And let's see, no bear sightings up there. So although there was one on camera just like running by or whatever, but not while we were up there. So that's okay with me. I've seen more than my share this year. So yeah, that's about it. So just thought I'd add that on. You guys, I can't believe that I forgot to show some of my finished objects. Especially because I was talking about series and how sick of series I am. But anyways, okay, here is July wordplay. And I pretty much changed out a lot of the colors and fireworks. There were supposed to be more fish there, and I decided Milwaukee usually has a really huge fireworks display on the 3rd of July, which they did not have this year, but it's over the water. And so I decided that's what I would do under the fireworks word. And Helen D had a really cute fireworks design that she did this year, and so I used pieces of that to fill in my fireworks area. And I wanted to make it more red, white, and blue, just because, to go with everything else that I have out at this time of year. And then, let's see if I can do this without making you all nauseous. I don't have the little house that it goes on, but I vinyl finished by June Little House Needleworks. And that's a cute one. I think everything was called for. It was a kitted up kit when I got mine. Now I think all months are available all together. And then the final thing I have to show, is August. It's only the 17th and I'm done with August. I really changed around quite a bit of the colors, and I wish I could remember who it was, but someone added the little bow on the back of the little girl or woman's bonnet. I thought that was cute, so I used that idea too, and just kind of did a mix of some of the called for, but a lot of my own colors to make it a little bit brighter and cheerier. Okay, there we have it. I guess that's about all. You know, I'm trying to think. It's just life is taking a different pace. I mean, it's odd, very odd. And I think a lot of that has to do with the uptick with the numbers, with people getting sick again, and, you know, having grandkids that can't be vaccinated. Normally, I'm sure we would be planning all sorts of things, and, you know, we had talked about visiting friends in Florida. In fact, oh my gosh, I will include a picture of it at the end, but it was my last week of work, and I don't know, my husband comes in with this big box of, had flowers on the outside or whatever. I opened it up, and honestly, it was 24 of the most beautiful roses I've ever seen in my life. Just gorgeous and fresh, and they lasted for like, I think 2 weeks. They were just gorgeous. But anyways, they were from our good friends in Florida, so I thought that was really, really sweet. So, yeah, it's, you know, I can't say I probably am having the typical retiree experience, you know, like not a lot of hoopla. So, maybe, you know, I kind of want to do some giveaways in honor of my retirement. So maybe we'll have a party next video. And I can give away some stuff, and you can join me in celebrating, because, you know, it's the first year at the company, I didn't think I'd make it 19 years. And it is amazing to see in a big corporate company the changes that happen over the years, and, you know, just how things evolve. And I think back to, you know, going in with a suit on and nylons and shoes that you could not show your toes, and, you know, at the end it's like you're going in shorts, or, well, not, I mean, I'd wear capris, but people would be wearing shorts and, you know, flip-flops, and that wasn't the standard wardrobe. I mean, most people you know, dress a little bit less casual than that, but it was great, like, if you had somewhere to go after work, not having to, you know, do the change in the bathroom stall. Yeah, but yeah, I will definitely miss the people I worked with. They were just an awesome group of people, and probably the reason I stayed, you know, the last couple years. I mean, I had the best boss I ever had in my life, and that was a wonderful way to kind of ease out gracefully. And I look forward to spending, you know, more time with not only the grandkids, but, you know, my kids, my husband, and my siblings, my friends. It's just a weird feeling to think, you know, you have all this opportunity now to do the things that you always, you know, put off, like wiping down your kitchen cabinets. That's been on my list. So now I'm really rambling, but yeah, I will tack on the summer things that I packed away, And I guess, you know, I've gone on and on and on. So I hope you're all doing well, and yeah, we'll have a party video, I guess. I'll figure that one out. But I hope you're all doing well and continue to fill the world with love. Toodles. I decided I would film a quick peek at the remaining summer patriotics that I'm going to pack away since I'm ready to move on to fall and Christmas. So this is Teresa Kogut, American Primitives, and you can see I just got a tiny little start on this one. It's those little half stitches that, now that I'm used to not doing them, I kind of dislike them. Anyways, he's going bye-bye. Then the next one I have is Little House Needleworks America. This is stitched on Country French Rain. I don't know. There's a slight chance I might just finish the house before I put it away. Well, I don't know. Maybe I won't. There's so many other things to stitch that sometimes you just gotta move on. So that's that one. And then this one I made a lot of progress on. It's Grow a Garden by Lila Studio. I can't remember what I'm stitching this on, but I'm using all call for colors, and I think it's 36 count. And so I'm just going to pack that away. And it'll be fairly quick next year to get done. And then these I can hardly believe I didn't get farther, but Blackbird Design, this is American Eagle. I guess you can't see the chart very well. Sorry. And yeah, I love working on this one, but I had torn out part of the wording, and so that set me back, but I'll be that much further along next year. And then the final one is it's Summer Jubilee from Blackbird Design, and I'm stitching it 36 count. I know I've said before in my previous videos what color it is. I love this one. I have to be careful when I'm stitching on darker fabrics. Well, this isn't really dark, but I just need to be careful so I count right. And I still need to rip out, I used the wrong hibiscus, so right now mine is shades of fuchsia. But I'll rip that out and then stitch with the correct color hibiscus. So lesson learned, pay attention to the manufacturer name as well as the color. All right, well, you'll see these again next year. Bye-bye, summer.